Hi everyone, welcome to Creative Learner and my name is Teza. Creative Learner is a great place to learn tips and tricks for Photoshop, Illustrator, Clip Studio, and even in future After Effects, Premiere Pro, those tutorials are coming. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on the Facebook page as well so that you will be notified whenever we upload a new tutorial. So this week we are going to create a pattern in Illustrator. So as you can see on my screen, so that is I took a screenshot on the Google, so that will be example. And then I have in Photoshop, I open a new gift box. So on this gift box, let's say I have an art director or creative director wants me to do some like a mock-up pattern on it. So, and then also the process will be, let's say, of course you're not creating all those patterns in this tutorial, but I want to like highlight that creating, let's say you have to create in some point, a lot. So if in normal way, what we will do is in this gift box in Photoshop, if we don't know the Illustrator, what we will do is of course, I'm sure that you know the Photoshop, so that what you will do is you will open the Photoshop, take a new document and then new size, maybe that will be in print, and then to go to A4, and then you will create a new document, and then you will start making your, maybe let's say there's just an example, you will be making some like those pattern, and then you will be creating. So all those, what you are doing is okay, let's say I have finished this pattern, and then after that you will go to layer, and then go to layer, and you will be like copying all those things into your mockup, and then you will be, after what you will do is making alignment, and then let's say you will be creating a line like this, and then making those alignment in this way. But that will not be very smart and very like intelligent to do, because now even the Photoshop and Illustrator, they have this upgrading the tools like every year. So this is not the way to do it as well, because that will be really taking time, also will not be very creative. Even it was stuck because of you have to create some pattern, some like those, even this is only a circle, and then you are taking too much time. And also, what if I want to create some more pattern, like maybe just now I show you that like a heart shape, and then zigzag, and then sometimes there will be a different pattern with the flower, hearts. All those things will be really taking time to do it. So today what I want to show you is let's forget about it the old way, and then that is even I would say that will not be very creative or not be using anymore. So first thing, what we need to do is because we need to see a mock-up. So in this box, we are not taking any new document, because this is a box already open. So that will be a tip and tricks for workflow as well. So I encourage you to follow this tip and tricks, this workflow, because that will be create more better way. And also, don't use the pattern to create a box, because that will be wrong method or wrong like tip to creating and the rest of the tutorial. What I will do is just simply take any tool. If you don't see the tool box in here, so what you can do is go to window menu, and then you can like even you can look for a tool here. If not, simply just go to workspace, and then under workspace you have all those like a preset the UI, and then you can just choose anything, and then make sure you click again reset. If let's say I choose a graphic and web right now, and then I want to change like reset those UI. Let's say I want to bring up this layer here like that, and then all the messy tab are here like that. And then what if I want to change back all the UI setting? What I will do is go back to your window menu, and then what you can do is reset graphic and web. So once click over it, and then that will be resetting everything like what you see on screen. Just now the tab are gone, and then the panels are gone, and then you will exactly see what the screen looks like to you and myself. So that will be the better way, or that will be the only way to do it. And then if not, you can do like a manually one by one. That will be also not very wise. So okay, let's continue to our tutorial. So once I got the layer panel like that, and then in the tool also, okay, the first thing what you need to do is draw a box. Nowadays I've been sharing like drawing a box. So just simply take a rectangle tool, holding shift will create a square, and then all even sides, and then just big enough. Do not draw like a very small box that will not be blurry at the end, because that box will be big enough. So that I will draw like this, very big box. Doesn't matter is covering a box or not, because later we will be making a template or maybe making a smart object. So before that, draw a rectangle box like this, and then after that we are not going to like holding a command key to distort like this. No. So what I will do is, after you have drawn this simple square box, and then go to layer panel, and then locate your layer. So that will be, we can see that this is our rectangle square, and then what I will do is right click on that layer and convert to smart object. So that is the first step we need to do. And then after you have converted your box into smart object, and then what I will do is a holding command. So that will be changing. Let's say even you see my cursor just now is a very a black thing. After that, when I hover to the corner and then I press command, that will change to my a pointer like that, and I can move that corner point wherever I want. So that is how I am changing now. I am not straight away changing after drawing the rectangle, only after I have converted to my smart object. So this is not making the drawing after only, I have converted to smart object. So this is a smart object, changing my box into this way. So that is very, very important for today's technique. So that will be if let's say you want to move, and then you can move like that, and then that is because of the smart guide. So same thing in Illustrator. Photoshop has those kind of the extra and smart guide. So you can uncheck snap or extra, all those will be gone. So I can snap, so I will not unsnap it. So sorry, I will unsnap the go to view menu, and then unsnap the just now the guide. So that will be, I can move a custom way. So that make sure that you touch all the corner like that. So so we have created the smart object rectangle like this, but actually this smart object is before we draw a rectangle box. So that must make sure the way we do. So after you finish the box like this, so when we go back to our rectangle one here, so there is already smart object. So if you don't know smart object in Photoshop, you can double click on that smart object icon, not the layer. So clicking on the layer will be go to layer style, but make sure that what you have to click is at the a thumbnail photo here. So there will be a document icon here. So when you hover your mouse only on that document, so after that you can just click or maybe double click. That will be make sure you double click that icon, and then it will open a new a window, new document, showing that it's not in those a shaping box in our view like that. So that will be open a new document and a new view, a new window, and then only showing my box a rectangle, sorry, a square box in my view. So in Photoshop, the magic is whatever you draw on this box. Let's say I want to create a box like maybe the circle, even maybe a yellow circle like this. Say we want to copy. This is holding a shift. This is not going into Illustrator yet, because just making a template in Photoshop first. So that will be the first step that we need to do. So that will be, I am making the clicking and copying this item. So that is let's say I am making a simple pattern like a yellow thing like this. After that, I will grouping everything. Shortcut for Illustrator and Photoshop, grouping and ungrouping. So Command G will be group. So after group, I can Command A to make a selection all, and then go to top. There will be an alignment to the top and to center. And then once I have done the alignment, so this is working on my smart object square box. After that, I will simply save. So doing nothing, just go to file menu, and then just maybe even shortcut is Command S. So you save your file. Once you have saved your file, you go back to your just now the mockup box. So voila, that is what we are seeing, the magic is happening. So that is a very simple technique. Just now I show you if we are the earlier thing that we are drawing a circle and making a distorting and finding a perspective. All those will be really tough. But now taking a smart object and then only working on the smart object will be more efficient, also very creative. even in Photoshop right now, even you can see that more like a first, and then even we can change, I mean, those patterns. Let's say I want to make it this circle really big like that, and then maybe the other circle pattern really big like that, and then that will be even. But I'm not going into Illustrator yet, but change, I mean, I'm showing like a even smart object, creating a box in creating a box in Photoshop also. Like that is how like a powerful it is. So I will just simply file, save the file. So that is saving my smart object. So once I save the file, and then my smart object, that will automatically update to my box, and all those things are happening. Okay, now you see that it updates on our box as well. So the pattern, whatever we draw in, whatever we draw in our smart object, so that will be after we have saved the file. Make sure that you must save the file first. So once you have saved, shortcut is a Command S, Control S. Once you have saved the file, and then you can go back to your mockup, and then you will see that it's already updated. And then let's say I want to create one more, like a big circle here. I want to show you again, and then I will make it big. And then save the file, Command S. I will use a shortcut, and then go back to your mockup. Then you will see how it is easy, and also walking style will be also more efficient, because we are not like walking on the perspective view, because we are seeing like a side view. That will be tough for us to create. Even in Photoshop, making a smart object will be better, like a more efficient. But today's tutorial will not be this Photoshop, like a creating pattern in Photoshop. But I want to encourage you to create the pattern, because just now I show you that, we have a pattern like a heart, like a zigzag, and then all those like different patterns using the offset. Even you can see that many patterns are different. Even if you are using the Photoshop to create all those patterns, that will be really tough, really taking time. Even it is impossible. Of course, you can do taking time, and then that will be slow down your process as well. Will not be very creative as well. So that's why today we are going to learn. Let's go to Illustrator. Going to learn drawing pattern in Illustrator, and then I have shown you that how whatever you draw in Illustrator, also you can paste it back into your Photoshop. So we are using that same technique. And then we will be creating, maybe I will try my best to create more patterns, and then based on my tutorial. So that will be today's tutorial. So let's get into Illustrator. This is just holding my Command and Tab key, so that you can switch to your whatever software you have open. So even I can easily go back to Photoshop like that. If not, you can locate on your mouse, because I'm using Mac, so you can locate your Photoshop, Illustrator in those way. So get into Illustrator and go to File, New. Before that, I can simply take my new document here, but I wish to make sure that, I have shown you last tutorial that making the same size in Photoshop and creating a same size document in like an Illustrator, that will be much better for us to copy and paste. So I will be using that same technique. So I am not getting the size here, because this is not my document size, because you know that only the smart object is controlling our pattern. So what I will do is I will delete all this yellow circle here. So I will select it all. So in Photoshop, what you can do is just press anything. After that, you press Shift and then click any layer you want. That will be selecting all in between layer, and then you can delete here the trash icon, or maybe from the keyboard delete all the layer you don't want. And then even the group thing, we don't want it, I can delete it like that. So after that, I need to measure a size in this smart object. So what I can do is I can simply go to image menu, and then you can look for an image size. So that will be like what is this smart object size it is. So here, very simple. We draw a square, so that will be 880. So I have 880. So the resolution will not be the key point in here, because in Illustrator, that is a vector software. Whatever we draw, that will be vector, not depend on our resolution. So that will be not very, we don't have to think about it. And then I can go to width and height only, and then because of the square, I will take 880. So and then I press OK, because that will be like a same size in our Illustrator. So just now I click this thing is you can simply go to file and then click on new, or shortcut is a command N, and then you have this new document. The UI screen will appear. So we know what we have it. I mean, we have this 880. Even we can go back and double check our Photoshop Smart Object size. So even I'm pressing like a option command I will be appear this image size. That will be shortcut. And then we have a pixel, and then you make sure that this is a pixel inches, so that is important. So if you have a different like a measurement, I think you need to change. I mean, of course you have to make sure if you choose inches, I have to make sure that I choose the same inches here, but I will choose the pixel for us to easier. I mean, so that the pixel will be no like a many decimal involved. So that will be 880, and then we are sure that we have 880. Go back to Illustrator. Make sure that you choose the point or pixel here. So whatever point and pixel is almost the same. So that will be a point 880. And then because of a square, I will input like 880 for our height. So we have it, and then we have created the we are not making anything changes, just a square size making it, and then I will press create. So if you're using the Illustrator 2019, that will be same UI for you and for me. Okay, now I mean, as you can see, my document is like a square box, so very exact same size. So we have created a new document in Illustrator. Okay, in Illustrator, I mean, just now, let's start with the circle. I mean, I want to show you how easy it is. Let's say we are creating very creative process. Just now, let's follow our pattern that is having in our Photoshop. Let's say I wanted this like a yellow, like a circle thing, and then we will build slowly from it. And then this is a circle. In Illustrator, we have this circle. And then just draw a one circle, and then make sure you can even align your thing in like that. So after that, what we can do is in Illustrator, I don't have to create many circles like a holding option key and then pressing all those spacing and all those things. But what I can do is in Illustrator, we have a create pattern. So I will make sure a little bit more like orange because I can see very clearly. So what we can do is after you have created one circle, what I can do is go to object and then object menu, and then there will be a pattern. So what I can do is after you see the pattern, you go in and then click on make. So that is what we are seeing, that they are saying like a new pattern has been added to the swatch. So it means like when I click OK, that is already you have created the pattern in orange, the circle here. So just now, I mean, they are saying that it is added a new pattern in your swatch tab. So that is what we are seeing, the circle here. So that is a pattern swatch. So there will be a color swatch in our swatch panel, and also there will be a pattern swatch because you can see the left. I mean, will be a default pattern. There is an Illustrator is already added, but just now I added the yellow circle here. So that will be my pattern here. So when I created the click OK, and now they are like you will be noticed that I mean at the top there will be a like different like a tab involved here. So it means we are in like a pattern view mode. So there is a new window screen only for pattern view. So once we are in that view, so what we can do is the circle, even now here you see that already, I mean aligning, and already like they are in like repeated circle are already added. So I don't have to draw simply one by one. Even I don't have to worry that what will be my size in between. Let's say the gap will be same gap or not. So I don't have to worry anything. I just click one circle, and then I can simply anything I can change here. Let's say I change like that. So that will be making my circle equally like they are keeping a gap in between, very same, very exact. And then once I have done a one circle, let's say I want to keep my gap not really big, I can increase that. And also what I can do is I mean, you can see here's a pattern option. You can define that what is a gap in between. So what I can do is I can increase the like between gap as well. So let's say what I will do is go back to your this is a width and height, and then I can simply this is you are keeping your gap, and then on the height same thing, and you want to keep the gap to the height really like a touching. Even you can like simply just increase one point here in the pattern option panel, and then you can just simply increase your value, and then that will be like a touching or maybe keeping more gap. Maybe I want to make it same like a 80 to 80 to the left, right, and top and bottom. So I just simply like defining my gap very simply, and then I can like making my circle, and then I can squeeze it like that. So that is I am working on the like pattern view, so that is not on my document view yet. So now let's say I like the pattern like this. So what I can do is I can just simply click and save. So that means that I have to go to top. So you can see at the top that you can click on the done, or maybe you can click on the arrow as well. So that will be either you can like click on done, or you can go back to arrow. So I will click done. That will make sure my pattern is created. So here you are seeing that nothing is happening. I mean, only we come back to our document, but it changed in our the swatch tab. So I will bring up my swatch like that, and then just click and drag outside like that, and then like so. So after that, what we can do is just use any tool, maybe circle or rectangle or whatever tool you can use it right now. So I will put my circle. That is just like creating a brush, a pattern like our master circle. After that, I will draw a rectangle box like that. So same size to our document size, and then make sure you touch the like a corner, and then at the top you can just make sure that draw and click again. That is because of the snap. I mean the smart guide, it will be like snapping at the corner. So once I have done the drawing, this kind of the like a drawing box without filling anything or whatever, I can fill none. So after that, I can go to swatch panel, and then just now we have created the circle. So that pattern, I just one click and then boom. So I don't have to worry. I mean, like I have to like go and keeping my circle at the top. What is the gap, and then in between the gap. Just now I show you in Photoshop. I mean, let's go back to Photoshop that we are making like a drawing a circle. Even just now I showed you that in Photoshop we'll be drawing a circle, many things, and then after that you are making make sure in that you have to choose the circle need to be, I mean, the better way, or keeping I mean like gap to be even. All those trouble will be gone. I mean, in Illustrator it's very simple. I draw a circle first, and then after I have drawn a circle, I will go to object menu and then go to pattern. After that, click on make. That will be, we will be entering into pattern view. Just now I show you. After that, I mean, simply we can just draw a whatever area that will be like a pattern area. So that will be, I just draw like a one simple rectangle box, and then it will be adding my pattern. Go to swatch panel, and then you can just add your like pattern into that drawing. So that is how easy it is. So we know that how we can do is after we draw a pattern. I mean, that will be when you press to Command Shift D, that you can see that the transparency, because if you are confusing with the white like a artboard, I mean, you think that, oh, we have a white area. Actually, we don't have it. Press Command Shift D. That will be like seeing your transparency in Illustrator. So after that, I will just simply click on my pattern. That is already snapped into our like just now the rectangle and then the square. So I will simply copy. We don't have to worry. I mean, there's the same size. So copy that pattern. Command C. Go back to like a Photoshop, and then you can simply Command V. Paste your object. Even you can keep in Smart Object as well. So I will not keep in Smart Object right now. So click on the pixel. So that will be just click OK. You are pasting your like a circle bubble exactly the same in the Photoshop in our Smart Object. If let's say you want to like change a background gray color, you can double click on our rectangle. Just now we created the rectangle in Photoshop. Even we can change like maybe some creative like those kind of the even we can change I mean a different box like that. Even we can go a little bit like a more complementing the blue or those things. And then after that, we like the color, we can change, and then the pattern is paste, is the same size, same place. And then after that, I can save. Make sure that you have to save the file because that is on Smart Object. So click Command S or File Save. After that, go back to your mockup view. Boom. That is how easy it is. I mean, creating a pattern and like making a better process. So you would say that, wow, I mean, that is very simple, like a circle. But what if, I mean, let's go back again. What if I want to add one more inner circle? So meaning, even in this is not a pattern. This is just the first circle I have drawn. Actually, this is not pattern, but the pattern is already added in our swatch. So that is what you have to know. So what if I want to edit my pattern and adding one more circle inside of the existing circle? Very easy. What you can do is you can go back to your swatch panel and then you locate your pattern. So that is your pattern. Even we can name it. Let's say I want to rename it. I can double click on it, like a pattern name. Maybe let's say I want to simply put a bubble. I mean, let's say I want to put a bubble, and then after that I want to keep adding one more circle. Just now I said that. Let's say I want to keep one more, maybe there will be one circle on top of it. Let's say I want to add one more, like a red, like a circle. Then there will be, boom. I mean, you don't have to follow anything. Even you are seeing that, oh, there will be a many gap. But actually, it is not just simply the pattern options that we can increase the how many, like a repeated pattern we want to see. So that is how easy to add one more circle on top of it. And then after that, it is automatically updating my pattern. I mean, that is, you can see that at the top and bottom, all the circle, wherever I duplicate it, it means Illustrator is automatically repeating, or maybe that is duplicating my pattern and then including my circle on the top of it. And then also what I can do is very simple, just copy on top of it, unlimited, and then you can just simply duplicating it. That will be automatically updating your pattern all around. And not only for that, what we'll do is when I press click on the done button, boom. So what you see is that just now, I mean, just now is only a yellow circle. I mean, before saving that, I will go back to Photoshop to make sure. So you are seeing that only a circle here. But once I updated my pattern setting, because that is going into my swatch panel, I double click on my bubble, and then just now I renamed that as a bubble, and then I added one more, like a two more circle at the top of it. When I save the pattern setting, when I mean like after saving the pattern, so it will automatically update my pattern in Illustrator. So now it's a very powerful. I mean, we don't have to, like just now in Photoshop, I mean, you have to manually adding one circle, and then you will do is after edit, I mean, let's say in Illustrator, if not, there will be no a feature in Illustrator. What you will do is create a pattern like that, and then holding an option, and then there will be let's say you have a very big like a size to fill it in. I mean, that will be taking time, will not be very creative as well. Now I added one more, two more circle on top of it. That is how easy it is done. And then I can simply just copy that pattern, and then I can just select everything, copy, and then that is my box fill in the pattern. And then the Illustrator pattern is a very simple. I mean, just now I show you you can select any color. That is before the pattern. I mean, let's say you go to your swatch panel, and then you will select any color first. And then when you draw a box using your fill color selector, that will be filling your color. So that is the same thing that Illustrator will fill the pattern in your box. So what I will do is you select your box, the drawing, and then after that you go to your panel, and the swatch panel, and you just click on your pattern swatch. So that will be filling your pattern automatically. That is how I created this box filling the pattern. After that, I will just click and copy the file. I will update in Photoshop, and then go back to your smart object view, and then just simply paste it. We don't have to worry the pasting alignment, because we make sure that is very aligned, and then press OK. Because of the making the same size in Photoshop and then keeping the same document size in Illustrator, will copy and paste very exact place. That will be how, I mean, I have already shown you in previous tutorial that we can paste anywhere, like in my Iron Man box tutorial. So when I press enter, that will be already pasted. And then after that, I can just simply Command S. So that will be saving my smart object in Photoshop. And then go back to my mockup view. So boom, that is how easy that, I mean, we are creating a pattern. Also, what if, I mean, just now I show you we have to create more option, and then we have to my director or creative director wants to see more option and more creative. Let's say this is just a only circle thing, and then I want to change maybe some kind of diamond shape. That will be also very easy in Illustrator. I mean, even we can just get into this pattern, or what if even we can create more pattern? I mean, just now I show you this is just a simple one pattern here, but I want to create more pattern option. I want to keep it this one as well. So what I will do is creating new document. So how I can create new documents? You can simply press Shift O, and then you can copy existing box. So just like that. So holding an option and Shift will be making straight copy. And then that is before that you need to press Shift O, because a Shift O will be selecting your artboard. So that will be Shift O. Now selected your artboard, and then press Option key. That will be copying object in Illustrator. If you want to straight copy, press Shift so that it will be straight. It will not be run away. So that will be straight copy. You can do that way as well. So meaning you are duplicating a document, maybe artboard in Illustrator. Or if not, what I can do is I will create a new artboard, or Shift O. I am not copying this, but I can create, just simply click and drag like that. So that will be also same thing. I mean, I'm creating a new artboard in Illustrator. After that, I mean, we know the size, so that will be square. What I will draw is 880. So now the height is correct, and then I just need to change my width to 880. So that will be same width and height. So I have it now. New artboard is drawn. So what I can do is I just want to see one more pattern. So that is we want to see some option. So in Illustrator, so making a pattern is very easy. Let's say in diamond shape, I mean, I don't have to drawing a square like this. Now it's because of my circle pattern is selected. That's why like my whatever I draw is already filling. So I will change back to my fill box with the yellow color or whatever color for the first thing. And then after that, I will make a diamond shape, like a holding at the corner and just rotate like that. So now the diamond shape will be our new pattern. Same process. What I will do is simply I will just click on my diamond. Let's say I want to keep it a little bit small, or maybe a little bit big, whatever. I can change it back in my pattern setting as well. So I will make like a diamond like that. Even I can, like at the first place, I can take one more, like a diamond have a new stroke. So that you know that I can simply press copy and F, and then press thing like this. That will be creating one more even those stroke. So that will be my pattern. So after that, I can simply but for now, for this tutorial, I mean for this pattern, I can go back to object menu, and then you can simply go to pattern and make. But I will not do that. I want to show you that the other option, I mean the other way. So what I can do is it's a very simple. I mean in iPhone tutorial, I have shown you how we can easily drag and drop into our swatch panel to create thing. So that will be the other option, that after I created the sample diamond like that, so I will simply just click and drag into my swatch panel. So that is how easy also, adding my pattern in Illustrator. So what it does is I have already added my pattern here. So now what I can do is no stroke. I don't want stroke. So I will get the rectangle tool, and then simply draw a box like that. And then now you can see that boom, that is already created the pattern. So that will not be like getting into the pattern setting. But if let's say you really wants to get into the pattern setting, we can get into it. What we can do is go to your swatch panel. So you locate your pattern and double click on that swatch panel. Swatch, pattern swatch, and then you will already channel into your thing. Let's say you want to see a view in here like that, you can simply locate, but that will not be defining our pattern in our artboard, just that it is showing our artboard for viewing purpose only. So after that, I can change. Let's say you want to add one more dimension. Let's say I want to add, what if I want to add one more, maybe using the pen tool, and then I will add at the side maybe some of the shading. Let's say I want it like a blue at the right side will be much like a darker blue or things like that, and then I can simply click on that. so maybe red or maybe other yellow on it. So that will be updating my pattern. So that is how easy. I mean, I just now what I did is I just simply taking my pattern. What if we want it like a circle thing on top of it? Very easy. In Illustrator, go to circle 2 and then ellipse 2, and you can draw anything from the point and then hold down Option and Shift. That will be starting from that point, and then you can click like that. So there will be a one like a circle, because I want to show you that how creative it is. So that will be at the top of it, and then you can Option and holding the pattern. Only you are drawing on the one pattern and it is already updated in your pattern view. I mean at the left and right, that is what you can do. I'm not going into depth into this pattern option that you can play around. Even we can like a copy here, so we can define that this is now a 5 by 5. We can even duplicate. I mean there will be like a 5 by 7. You can see that if I click 5 by 7, you can see even 7 by 5. That is how we can like a simply view a pattern view. But this is not like an actual pasting it, because only after we quit this the pattern setting and then actually working on our artbook view, so that will be defining our pattern. So for now I will do that. Maybe even 3 by 3 is enough. We want to see how the gap is like that. Even after that, I can copy that. Our circle is at that, maybe one more circle at the bottom and top, and then I will just add like this, because I'm not creating like a very interesting pattern here, just that I want to show you how it is easy to create a pattern in Illustrator. So maybe even I can fill the blue like that. So after that, let's say I want to change a pattern. Now it's here you can see that the in between there is a gap. So I don't want a gap. So if I want to like a diamond shape filling in pattern view, in pattern setting, if I don't want a gap in between, what I can do is you can see there's a pattern setting panel here. So in the tile type, what you can do right now is a grid. So even we can change the how it is stacking, or maybe how it is laying on top of it. So if I change my tile like a type or grid to like a hex by column, so you can see that now it is changing my like a pattern like without a gap, more like a nicer pattern. Even I can like just now I show you that we can how easily squeeze our height and width. So I will bring down my height gap like that, and then touching it, and then after that I can bring down my like a width gap and then touching it. So now it is creating our pattern in very I don't have to manually go and making sure that touching the point. So I can simply click here, so I can make sure that let's get into it, and then even I can make this thing like that, touching, and then 129. I can simply type in the width also 129. So that will be making sure. So sorry, the width will be a little bit like go into inside of it, and then I can simply touching the gap. So that is how easy we can even change our like a pattern, like pattern style. Like that is what we change. The tile type will be from grid. Just now it's from grid, but I changed to from grid to hexa by column will be different. Like pattern type, I don't have to draw again. So that is how easily I can fill up my pattern in like Illustrator. After I like the pattern, I can even like see a view. Just now I show you that 3 by 3 is not enough. I can see the view like a 7 by 7, how it is look in Illustrator. So that will be how easy it is. So once I like the pattern, I will keep it as a 3 by 3. I can click done, and then after I press done here, that will be automatically updated my pattern in Illustrator. So how it is easy. And then now you can see that here, whatever I choose or I make the pattern in Illustrator, so that will be updated in my the document view as well. So that will be my main document. So please keep in mind that you have two window will appear. So one will be the pattern setting. You can change many things. If you want to get into pattern setting, that will be going into your swatch panel and double click any pattern you have created, and then you can play around here. So after you have happy, you have done your pattern completed, you press or click on the done, and then that will be come back to your document or your drawing thing. And then when we have done the pattern, there will be a second like a box. We want to see the pattern in our Photoshop. So go back to Photoshop. I can simply paste my pattern. Let's say I want to add one more pattern at the bottom. That is the same process as well. So I will simply just create the box here, like creating your box in that box as well. So you can define, come back, 880. So at the top of it, 880, you can type it. So that will be same size. So just now the top one, because now I want to show you that they're making a new pattern and then creating a new pattern and then pasting maybe at the side. So same process, I will do the a right click and then convert to smart object. So after converting, I can start moving my point to the corner. So that will be our process here. So making smart object only, making our template so that it will be easier for future drawing a pattern in our Photoshop. So I will make sure that my pattern touching here will not be very exact. I will try my best. So that will be here like that, and then the corner is touch, and then you can make sure you can play around. So that will be here touching at the corner. So once I'm happy with the a layout, I can press enter. If you can go back, you can just Command T will be appear in the box. So that is how you can come back to the box, and you can just make sure your box is aligned and then press enter. That will appear. So once we have done created the smart object box, I can same thing, go to layer at the thumbnail corner there, not on the layer here, but on the document icon here. So double click on that. That will be coming inside your second rectangle. So now we are pasting the new pattern from Illustrator. So I can just simply copy the pattern, Command C, and then go back to Photoshop, and then pasting your pattern here. And then with the pixel or smart object, doesn't matter, I will paste it like that. So after paste done, so here the yellow thing, we can change it. If you wanted some color, even we can change the color, or maybe even some greenish thing or whatever color you want. So I will change it like that, and then make sure you must save the file. That is saving the smart object. So save the smart object. That is the second smart object, and then once you have saved the file, you will see there will be updated smart object that is overlay. If you, there is some mock-up retouching will involve, but I will leave it like that, and then so that will be making sure your perspective is right. So that is like that. So once you press enter, that will be your pattern is already updated. So I think the tutorial, I will stop the tutorial right now here. So let me review back. What I did is whatever mockup you want to do in Photoshop, I will start with the Photoshop file open and then create a smart object box like that. So after that, go back to Illustrator. You know that Illustrator is just now I have shown you that how efficient, how easy. There will be even that is a very simple pattern that I have created in Illustrator. You can create any pattern. Whatever you see on screen, even time will be very short. Because of my English and I'm trying to speak and trying to create, that will be slowing a little bit. If you create things in Illustrator pattern like this, very first, just a few seconds, and then just copy, and then you can paste it in a Photoshop, so that your art director or creative director can see the option. Very fast. That will be more. I want to encourage you to use this technique, and this method will be very efficient for your workflow. Okay guys, pretty much about it. I will stop my tutorial right here. Hopefully you learned something. If you learned something and then you like the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on our Facebook page as well, so that you will be notified whenever we upload the tutorial for Photoshop, Illustrator, Clip Studio, even After Effects and Premiere Pro in future. I will stop the tutorial right here. Hopefully I will see you in next tutorial.